Would I be the a-hole if I don't let my husband's female friend stay with us for a few days while she's grieving? Husband, 32M, and I, 27F, have been together 3 years, and to preface this post, he has never given me reason to doubt him. He works remotely while I work in person Monday through Friday and don't get home until 6:30 to 7-ish p.m. most days. Earlier today, he texted me saying he spoke to an old friend, 33F apparently, of his because she moved to a city 3 hours from us, and after hearing about the things that happened in her life recently, invited her to come stay with us for a few days. He told me that both her parents and her brother passed away within a few months of each other recently, around a year ago, and she only has a sister left as part of her family now who she's away from at the moment. She also recently broke up with her boyfriend who she had been dating for a few years, not sure who broke up with whom. He said she seemed very distraught during their phone call, and he didn't really know what to say or how to console her, that he felt really bad for her, especially because she's mostly alone now. She said she was off from Thursday to Sunday next week, so he invited her to come and stay with us for that time. This woman used to be his coworker at the first job he worked, probably more than 8 years ago now. I know and have met most of his friends, but this is the first time I'm hearing of her, but it might be understandable because I haven't met people he knew from 8 years ago, unless they live close by. What really pissed me off was that he didn't ask me if it would be okay, more or less just gave me a heads up that he invited her, maybe just assumed I'd be okay with it. No idea why. I'm not comfortable with a female friend of his being in our home alone with him for a few days, while I'm not around for most of the day. I don't know this person or what they're thinking, so while I trust my husband, I don't trust her. Grief and loss also makes you act in ways you might not normally act in, and the fact that she had a recent breakup isn't comforting either, so I feel like letting this happen would be like inviting trouble into my marriage. I also know for a fact that if something inappropriate happened, even if she initiated it and my husband shut it down, I would lose trust in him for bringing the situation about despite me not being okay with it. Would I be the a-hole if I said I don't want her in our home while I'm not around? We're going to talk about it when I get home in a few hours. Edit. A few things to add. 1. I think hubby just feels bad for her and how her life turned out, so this is coming out of a place of concern for her more than anything else. It's definitely like him to bend over backwards to make someone else feel better. I think they were close friends when they worked together, but it's definitely a little odd that I haven't heard anything about her before this, because he told me about other people he worked with at the time. I even met a couple of them. She also wasn't invited to our wedding. 2. There's also a cultural context involved. Hubby and I are from the same culture, and it's not normal in our culture for a man or woman, especially if married, to be hanging out with someone of the opposite gender alone, unless they're blood related. It's not seen as distrust so much as just a respect thing. My dad won't even be in the same room alone as my aunt, his brother's wife, and she's been part of the family for 30+ years. It's similar in my husband's family. Hubby and I are not anywhere that strict and will go out for meals with opposite gender friends from time to time, but always making sure the other person is invited if they want to come and is okay with it if they don't want to come. This is pushing it though even for me, and for him to assume I'd just be fine with this is super weird. Sorry this became so long.